Hari Om Nana.
Om. 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 Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langhayate Girim Ytkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tatgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yashyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Adha Srimad Bhagavad Gita अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः साङ्ख्ययोगः संजय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदम् विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन क्लैब्यम् मास्मगमपार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रम् हृदय दौर्बल्यम् चित्तोत्थिष्ठ परन्तप Brahmara, would you mind my speeding up the chanting?
No problem, Nana.
Okay.
Whatever is.
Arjuna Uvacha Kadam Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyochyami Pujarha Varisudana Guruna Hatva Hi Mahanubhavan Shreyo Bhuktum Bhikshamapi Haloke Hatvardhakamamstu Guru Nihaiva Bhungiya Bhogan Rudhira Pradigdan न चैतद्विद्मा कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिता प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोष उपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः श्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नं न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमा वसपत्नमृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम् सञ्जय उवाच
You want me to
एवमुक्त्वा
chant, Nana?
Pardon?
Do you want me to chant? That will give you a bit of rest.
You want you no, it's okay.
Fine, okay.
Okay. Sanjaya Uvacha. Yeah, if you want to chant, go ahead.
No, I was just asking about you, that's all.
Okay. Yeah. When I go out of breath, I'll tell you.
Fine.
Okay. Sanjaya Uvacha. Evamuktva Hrushikesham Gudakesha Parantapa Nayo Chaiti Govindam Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha तमुवाच हृषीकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः श्रीभगवानुवाच दिस् इस् वेर् द गीता टीचिंग स्टार्ट्स् अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परं देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यते मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो अनित्याः तां तितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोऽमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यशोक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्मादुज्यस्व भारत Brahmana, take over.
Fine. य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययं कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देही नित्यमवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्माद्धियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययां सम्भावितस्य चाकीर्तिः मरणादितिरिच्यते भयाद्रणादुपरतं मन्स्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतः भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्य वादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्
Okay, Ramanan, you've done well. Take a break.
हा
Hato va prapsyasi swargam. Okay, I'll take over. Take a break. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim. Tasmaduthishta kaunteya yuddhaya kruta nischayah. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha alabhau jaya ajayau. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Can you shift the slide? Yeah. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Esha te abhihita sankhe buddhihi yoge tvimam shruno buddhya yukto yaya pardha karma bandham prahasyasi neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hyanantasya बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनां यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्य विपश्चितः वेदवादरताः पार्थ न अन्यदस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तया अपहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावानर्ध उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गः अस्तु अकर्मणे. Now we'll get back to that Sukha-dukkhe same krutva. Sukha-dukkhe same krutva labha-labhau jaya-jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papamavapsyasi. Yeah. See, the Tatparya is simple. treating victory, defeat, gain and loss, pleasure, any pleasure and pain, and all the pairs of opposites, treating all of them alike, get ready for battle. Fighting thus, you will not incur sin. Now, how do we get into practicing this? Sukha same krutva. How to have the equanimity of mind? Sukha same krutva. This is where, when we started with the Tattva Bodha, Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. That is required. Nitya Vastu is what? Nitya Vastu Vekam Brahma. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. When Sarvam Anityam includes the Sukha and Dukkha, with that knowledge from Tattva Bodha, can we start practicing to a little extent, making step by step improvement. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha alabho jaya apajayo jaya ajayo. Okay. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. This is the root of karma yoga anushtana. Having no craving for the karma phala, that is Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha alabho jaya ajayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva. That is yuddhaya means tato dharmaya yujyasva. Dharmaya karma kuru. Naivam papam avapsyasi. Dharmaya, when you do karma, papam na avapsyasi. You will not gain any papam. Right? Why you will not gain any papam? When you are in a position to treat the karma phala equal, you will tend to renounce as though the karma phala. When you are treating that equal, you simply do not care what the phala is. You keep on acting on and you do the very best that you are capable of. That is the secret of karma yoga. You do the best you can. Leave the rest to the Almighty. Karma phala, you simply give it to Ishvara. Prasada buddhi, and whatever Ishvara gives, take that as prasadam from the Lord. And don't you pride yourself that you are doing. Slowly get rid of the doership bhavana. Get rid of the doership bhavana and get rid of the craving for the karma phala. Karma phala itself, Ishwararpana buddhya karma kuru. With the buddhi that whatever I do, the karma phala I am going to offer to the Lord. And whatever he gives, whatever phala he gives, I'll take that as prasadam from the Lord. Ishwararpana buddhi, prasada buddhi, and slowly getting rid of the kartrutva bhavana. Treating these like defeat and gain and pain and loss, pleasure and etc. Get ready for battle. Fighting thus, you will not incur sin. Why Bhagavan is saying you will not incur sin? Because Arjuna said, I will incur sin. Aho bata mahat papam kartum yavasata vayam. We have come here to the battlefield, Krishna, to perpetuate mahat papam, etc. You were talking now. You will not attain to sin at all. Esha, this. Esha, this. Thus far, te, to you. Esha te abhihita sankhe. All this is unfolded to you in Sankhya. Sankhya is samyak khyayate iti Sankhya. Very well unfolded self-knowledge. Very well unfolded self-knowledge. After Bhagavan has started with Ashocyanam Ashochastvam, he did not stop as a kind of an injunction. Unnecessarily you are crying, Arjuna, you need not cry, there is no need to cry, etc. He did not stop there. He continued saying, giving self-knowledge. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipaha. If you people recollect all those verses beautifully, Natvam neme janadhipaha nachaivana bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. It's not as though we have not been earlier. It is not as though all these big armies, fighters, they have not been earlier. It is also not as though that they will not be in future. And that applies to both you and I. Neha vikramanashaha. No, sorry. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipa nachevana bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. And that teaching continued. Veda, understand, avinashinam vidhi. This Atma is avinashi. The Atma is najayate, namriyate. And Atma is like giving up old clothing takes another set of clothing. Vasamsi girnani yata vihaya navani grunnhati navani dehi. This dehi, shariri, atma, under the influence of ajnana, they're all same, like we have covered already. This dehi, this shariri, vasamsi girnani yatha vihaya, okay, worn out clothing, dirty clothing yatha vihaya, how very gladly takes, very gladly, very beautifully and happily takes new clothing. He is not worried about giving up the old clothing. Dehi, Dehi is not worried about giving up the old clothing. Who is worried? Who is worried? The Sthola Shariri is worried. The Sukshma Shariri is worried. And his bandhus are worried. Dehi is not worried. Very happily, yatha vihaya vasamsi jirnani tada naraha aparani anyani navani grunnhati. Anyani, other clothing, navani, new ones he takes very happily, etc. And this Atma, nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, etc. All the beautiful adjectives applicable to Atma have been enumerated by Bhagavan. Achedyoyam, madahyoyam, akledyo, soshayevach. This cannot be cut, this cannot be dried, neither can it be drowned. Okay, it cannot be burnt. And this Atma is beyond all these modifications. Nityaha, sarvagataha, sthanuho, achalaha, ayam sanatanaha. That also was mentioned by Bhagavan. All that is part of Atma Jnanam, self-knowledge, that is called Sankhya. Eshate abhihita Sankhya. In the Sankhya, that is in the Atma Vidya, Eshate abhihita Sankhya. This is unfolded to you, this wisdom, this buddhi. Yoge tvimam shruno. Yoga means karma yoga. Now, the bijam for karma yoga is laid here. Bijam for karma yoga actually was laid in the earlier verse. Right? Yoge tvimam shruno. Buddhya yukto. This buddhya yukto means yoga buddhya yukto yaya pardha karma bandham prahasyasi. Understand? With the karma yoga bhavana, anushtana, karma anushtana, with karma yoga bhavana, and with that wisdom, buddhya, that kind of buddhya, that wisdom, yukto, you are equipped. Yaya pada karma bandham prahasyasi. How you would cross over the bondage of karma. How you will cross over bondage of karma? karma bandham prahasyasi. This karma yoga anusthana will lead you to karma bandha vimuchya. Karma bandham prahasyasi. You will get rid of this karma bandha. How karma yoga? How can it get rid of karma bandha? Because you say on the one hand, the Shruti Vakyas are what? Shruti says, na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, tyage naike, amrutatva manashuhu. Na karmana, by no action, na prajaya, not by progeny, na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, not by wealth, not by great wealth. Tyage naike, amrutatvam anashuhu. By renunciation, tyaga. Tyaga of what? Tyaga of ahankara. And ahankara tyaga, when can you do? When your mind is prepared for that. Ahankara tyaga can be done when your mind understands this ahankara is not you. And the mind is you, really. And that you, the mind, would understand at a later stage in the sadhana that it is not ahankara. And with that knowledge, ahankara takes to flight. And when that happens, it's a very, very clean mind, a mind which is ready for the Sankhya Shastra Pravachana. All that. Thus far, what Bhagavan has said till now, it was heard by Arjuna, but he has not made it his own because he is not yet qualified for that. He is more like any of us. Like I said in the beginning, we're all Arjunas. We're all Arjunas and begging Bhagavan Krishna, Karpanya dosha, Upahata Swabhavaha Pruchhami Tvam Dharma Sammudha Chetaha Ichreyashyan Nishchitam Bruhitan Me Sishyasteham Shadi Mam Tvam Prapannam. Iti, each one of us is praying to Bhagavan. Please teach me, Bhagavan. I have surrendered to you. I am in the crossroads. Dharma Sammudha Chetaha. In the Dharma Vishaya, I have got Mudha Chetasaha. And with the Mudha Chetas, that is deluded mind, unable to think properly. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavaha. With a miserly attitude also, my mind is nicely disturbed. Upahata swabhavaha pruchhami tvam. I am asking you, please teach me. Yat shreyaha. What is very beneficial? Yat shreyaha. And what is that moksha sadhana? Yat shreyaha syat nishchitam bruhitan me. That Bhagavan said, this is the moksha sadhana. What is the moksha sadhana? Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. Jnanat evatu kaivalyam. That Bhagavan has put it forward in the first few verses of the Sankhya Shastra. That is why it is called Sankhya Shastra. That is one. Secondly, most of the verses have the self-knowledge slokas and also karma yoga slokas. In between, like yesterday we have seen, there have been some pep talk slokas, factual type of slokas, right? Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te avyayam. That is neither Sankhya nor karma yoga. But that is in the context in which Bhagavan is talking to Arjuna, it was very relevant. That is how it is mentioned. And Bhagavan said, this kind of a yuddham does not unfold to everybody. Sukhinaha kshatriya pardha labhante yuddham idrusham. Idrusham yuddham, this kind of a yuddham. Sukhinaha kshatriya pardha. For people like you, it will be presented. And don't waste that presentation. Don't waste that. And he also said, if Indeed, you turn away to a place called Rishikesh and things like that for your sannyasa sadhana. People will think what? Bhaya drana duparatam mansyante tvam maharadaha, etc. All those things. And you have been already known to be a tremendous fighter. You have been known to be the fear in the minds of people, parantapa, and that parantapa turning away, it will be a blot in your career, and that blot is going to be akirtim chapi bhutani kadayishyanti te avyayam. They keep on talking about it endlessly. And sambhavitasya, for a person who has been already decorated so very nicely, sambhavitasya akirtihi maranad ati richyate, atirichyate, maranat atirichyate. It is worse than death, Arjuna. So, tasmad yuddhaya yujyasva, get up, uthishta bharata. That was the prabodha. Now, till now, he has given, Bhagavan has given the self-knowledge. Now he is giving Arjuna karma yoga knowledge. With that karma yoga knowledge, how he will cross over karma bandham. He is mentioning that karma bandham prahasyasi. But it seems to be against the Shruti Vakyas. Na karmana, na prajaya. How do we accept this? Incidentally, anybody saying anything, Shruti Vakya is the standard for our self-knowledge pursuit. Whatever is said, is it confirmed by Shruti? Number two, is it available for logic and reasoning? Shruti, yukti. Yukti means you debate in your mind. Is it that? Is it possible? Etc. And the third one is anubhava. Your anubhava. What has been your anubhava thus far? If whatever is said by whoever it is, if it does not cater to all these three, simply throw that into the dustbin, because that is going to be a tremendous impediment in your progress for self-knowledge. Anybody saying anything, any text, so many texts are coming up these days. Different texts are talking differently. All those things, Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Now we are debating even Bhagavan here. Understand? Buddhya yukto yaya padha karma bandham prahasyase. How with this karma yoga anushtana, karma bandham, how will you get rid of? How karma goes away? That is the set of the three karmas. How will they go away? What Bhagavan mentioned is this karma yoga anushtana. With that knowledge, you will progress to a great extent and purify your mind, steady your mind, have the mind available for the self-knowledge to take place, which will get rid of this karma bandham. It is not as though karma will get rid of the karma bandham. It is kind of a progressive result. By karma yoga anusthana, you will cleanse your mind to a very great extent, and such a well-equipped mind, steady mind, and receptive mind will receive that great Atma Vidya, and with that one would understand and will claim Aham Brahmasmi, and that would be the beginning for Karma Bandham Prahasyasi. That's it. Understand? It is not as though Karma Yoga will get rid of this. What Bhagavan is meaning is Karma Yoga Anushtanena, you will become a qualified person for Sankhya, and that Sankhya will get rid of this Karma Bandham. So the Tatparya says, Arjuna, this attitude of mind has been presented. Yeah. Presented to you from the point of view of jnana. Okay, jnana something. Here the same as presented, jnana yoga. Okay. Now here the same as presented from the standpoint of karma yoga, the yoga of selfless action. Equipped with this attitude of mind, you will be able to throw off completely the shackles of karma. That is through jnana. This karma yogi will be a fit person to become the jnana yogi. And in the Atma Bodha, there was one verse. What is that? Pakasya vannivat jnanam vina moksho na sijyati. Pakasya vannivat. For making your items of lunch and dinner, pakasya vannivat. Fire is required. Like that, without the fire of knowledge, jnanam vina mokshaha na sijyate. And for the jnana samprapti, you will have to have the karma yoga anushtana. Karma yoga anushtana. It's not as though it's a step. It's a necessary thing. It's not a step. It is absolutely necessary. Without that, it is impossible to gain self-knowledge. Self-knowledge, gaining self-knowledge does not mean listening to some lectures and reading some texts and things like that, understanding what is mentioned in the text. No. Have you made that your own? Have you lived that? Na jayate, namriyate, va kadachit, na ayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha, ajaha, nityaha, shashvataha. Have you lived all those? That is possible when you have become a super graduate of Karma Yoga who will be a Sankhya Yogi in no time later. Equipped with this attitude, you will be able to throw off completely the shackles of karma. Now, Karma Yoga Anushtana, Neha Vikramanashosti, Pratyava na vidyate, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya, Trayate Mahato Bhaya. Na iha abhikramanashosti. You will not have the loss of effort and things like that. Okay, that you have not started it on time, or you have lost a lot of ground, all these things. That is in respect of Karma Yoga Anushtana. Bhagavan is talking of Karma Yoga Anushtana. Karma Yoga is different from mere karma. Mere karma anybody can do. Karma Yogi only the persons who are committed to the Karma Yoga Anushtana and they have imbibed the Karma Yoga spirit in totality, they can do. Na iha abhikramanasha asti. There's no loss of effort. For those people, not for everybody, not for a mere person who does karma just like that. No. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Neither does it give you the opposite result or anything like that. It does not give you a bad result. Pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. You will be released from mahato bhayat. Trayate, you will be released. You will be freed. Trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Swalpam is what? Very little. Asya dharmasya. Asya means karma yoga. Dharmasya. Swalpam karma yoga dharmasya mahato bhayat trayate. So when you start practicing karma yoga, mahato bhayat trayate. Is that not one of our wishes? Are we not fear-stricken generally? Is it not one of our bugs? Is it not one of our problems we would like to get rid of? Fear. Is it not? Fear of tomorrow, whether I will be or not. I've done a lot of things, but a lot more I need to do. I'm worried whether I will be there tomorrow. Mahato bhayat. That Mahato bhayat, you will be freed. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana bahushakahi anantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. Vyavasaya means what? It is not cultivation. Vyavasaya means nishchaya. Vyavasaya atmika buddhihi means nishchayatmika buddhihi. Right? Nishchayatmika buddhihi. Nishchayatmika buddhihi in respect of what? Not like the demons and the Rakshasas. They had a tremendous Nishchayatmika buddhi to get rid of all the three worlds, to occupy Indra's throne, and to imprison all the rishis, to take away the Vedas, all those things. That is also Nishchayatmika buddhi. No, not that kind of a thing. That kind of a thing is not conducive for self-knowledge. Those people, mudhaha, they will, what happens to them? Prapadyante naradhamaha, they do not worship the Lord at all, and they will be thrown into terrible hells again and again and again. And here, Gita, right through, talks here and there, hell and Swarga, hell and Swarga, and that coming from either Arjuna or Bhagavan. When Arjuna says that and Bhagavan has not contradicted, that means that Naraka or Swarga is perhaps there. Number two, when Bhagavan Krishna himself is talking of Edruchaya, what is that verse?
Yadruchaya chopapannam.
Yadruchaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavrutam. That swargadvaram is verily opened for you. Swargadvaram apavrutam. That coming from Bhagavan. We must consider that Swarga and Naraka are there, but we can't debate. How can you prove? You can't prove. Sitting here, you can't prove. If you stop sitting here, you can prove. Maybe you can. And when you can prove to yourself, but not to me, because I'm still sitting here. When you stop sitting here, you may be able to prove to yourself. That is different. So what I'm saying is, there are certain things in the teaching which we'll have to summarily believe. Guru, Vedanta. Huh? Yeah.
But isn't Naraka and Swarga a state of our own mind?
No. See, we really don't know. We really don't know. What I'm saying is, pardon my saying so, all of you, there are certain things in the great texts like the Gita and the Upanishads, which give rise to some doubts. Are they there? Is it true? Etc. etc. And we, the Alpajnaha, we are all Alpajnaha. Sorry, I'm saying this. Alpajnaha means without self-knowledge, we are all Alpajnaha. Alpajnaha means with little knowledge. Okay? Alpajnaha, we will only talk of what the mind is capable of discussing further and further. Okay, there are certain things we will have to believe. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasaha Shraddha. The Shraddha must be there. And the Guru Vakya and Vedanta Vakya, They are subject to verification by you, certainly. That Guru Vakya, whoever the Guru Vakya, Vedanta Vakya, subject to verification. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava, all those three. These are the three pillars of understanding. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. What is said, is it in conformity with the Shruti? Then secondly, is it logically right? Is it rational? Is it the available thing all over the world? Then your Anubhava. What is your Anubhava? Etc. Now, Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekaha eha kuru nandana. This Vyavasayatmika buddhi, that is Nishchayatmika buddhi. That Nishchayatmika buddhi, not for anything and anything. Nishchayatmaka buddhi is for what Atmabodha has said in the opening verse. Tapo bhikshena papanam shantanam vitaraginam mumukshunam apekshoyam atmabodho vidhiyate. And that Atmabodha is the same thing as the Sankhya Shastra, which Bhagavan is giving Arjuna now. Arjuna, and through him all of us. For us to be benefited from that, we will have to have the Vyavasayatmika buddhi for acquiring all those things. That Nishchayatmika buddhi for acquiring all those things. Same thing was mentioned even in the Tattvabodha. What was mentioned?
Vasudevendra Yogindram.
And after that, you have to acquire what? Indriya nigraha. You have to acquire mano nigraha, mano nischalaha.
Sadhana chatushtayam.
Huh?
Sadhana chatushtayam.
Correct. Sadhana chatushtayam. Sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarinam.
Moksha sadhana bhutam.
Moksha sadhana bhutam. See the beautiful choice of words by that Mahatma. Moksha sadhana bhutam. That is conducive to moksha. It did not say that is moksha. Sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyamaha. Tapo bhikshena papanam shantanam vitaraginam, etc. And throughout the Gita, Bhagavan is going to hammer one thing very, very clearly time and again. What is that? Get rid of your ragas and dveshas. These are your pratibandhakas. Raga dvesha viyuktanam yatinam yatachetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. All those beautiful verses, they talk of you neutralize the raga and dvesha. Neutralize the raga and dvesha. There is one text I have read. The desires will keep on coming to the mind because it is the nature of the mind to entertain desires. Now, all these desires, I believe, for a Mahatma, for a Jnani, all those things come to him like they come even to us. And what happens to the desires coming to us? They keep on troubling us. Out of so many desires, we will pick one desire which may be convenient for accomplishing. And we fail, suppose. Then dukkham apnoti. Problem. So we have yielded to the raga of that desire. Now, in respect of that Mahatma, that Jnani, what happens, I believe, all these desires, like they occur in our mind, they occur in the Jnani's mind also. The text I read was like a very hot pan on the stove, very hot pan. Just then you have removed the last dosha or whatever. Then in that, when you when you sprinkle a lot of water, a fistful of water, what happens to that water? What happens? It simply immediately evaporates. It simply evaporates. I believe in respect of the jnani, those desires will come to him, will come to his mind, okay, trying to tempt, but all those things, they evaporate like even the water drops on the hot pan. What is the hot pan in the jnani's case? Jnanagni. The Jnanagni will get rid of all kind of ragas and dveshas. So this raga dvesha neutralization is going to be the talking point by Bhagavan Shri Krishna right through the text, right through the Gita. So Vyavasayatmika buddhi, that Vyavasayatmika buddhi is in respect of acquiring self-knowledge, a tremendous determination, a commitment not for just 1 or 2 days, committed for life, because it is your life. Who wants this self-knowledge? You. Why do you want self-knowledge? Because you are the self. You have not understood yourself. You want to understand yourself. That is why you want self-knowledge. Because of that, you have picked up this kind of a commitment. What kind of commitment? I shall follow what Bhagavan Krishna has said. This Karma Yoga Anusthana I will take up, because that is one sure way for cleansing the mind, which is a prerequisite for the Sankhya Jnana, the self-knowledge Jnana to take place in the mind. In a dirty mind, it does not take place. In a very dirty mirror, you can't look your face. You may look your face, but you will refuse to believe that is your face. Right? It is highly distorted, contorted, etc. So Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. Only that you do. See here, kuru nandana. What is this kuru nandana? He is Pandunandana. What is kuru nandana? You remember we covered that Emperor Kuru, who ruled from Hastinapura and did a lot of yajnas, yagas, very near Hastinapura in a place called Kurukshetra. He is that emperor whose descendants are all these Kauravas and Pandavas. So Arjuna is a Kurunandana. Kurunandana is what? Kurunandana is
Arjuna.
Arjuna. Kurunandana. Nandana is what? One who will give happiness. One who will give happiness to Kurus. Bhagavan Krishna is called what? Yadunandana, Devaki Nandana, Vasudeva Nandana. That Nandana may look superficially like the sun. Yadunandana, the son of the Yadus. Okay, son. That Nandana means the one who bestows happiness, Ananda to all those people. Kurunandana. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. Beautiful. Avyavasayinam. People who are not resolved in their mind as to what they want. What is required by them in the Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. What is it they have chosen? If they have chosen moksha, and in respect of that they have to do something, and if they are not having the will to do that, that means what? That Vyavasayatmika buddhi is not there. That Nishayatmika buddhi for betterment is simply absent. Why? For those bahushakahi anantasya, they keep on thinking about this and that and that and that. Do you think that this self-knowledge will really help? How do you know? How are you sure about it? I say, how are you sure? It is about you, damn it. Self-knowledge is about you. Bahushakahi anantasya. How can you question whether it is going to be beneficial to you? The knowledge has taken the name from you. Self-knowledge. Your self-knowledge. That is going to be a blessing to you. And if you don't want to believe, you don't want to take a determined action for your own betterment, then you will have all kinds of different thoughts bugging you. Bahushakahi anantasya. You will think, oh, that lecture by so and so is good. I will go and listen to that. Then come back and say, no, it was not all that good. Then 2 days later, some other Mahatma was talking. I will go and listen. Okay, you are welcome to go and listen to Mahatmas. But what have you understood? Number one. Number two, what have you gained? What have you gained? Number three, are you prepared to commit yourself to what the Mahatmas have said in respect of self-knowledge? If you don't do that, you will be always hanging in balance. Bahushakahi anantasya. Bahushakahi anantasya. Buddhayo avyavasayinam. Right? Arjuna, in this yoga of self-action, the intellect is determinate and directed singly towards one ideal, whereas intellect of the undecided, ignorant men moved by desires wanders in all directions after innumerable aims. They will have different aims, and they will have an aim now, they give up. They will have another aim now, they give up, etc., etc. It's not possible to go forward. See, whenever you undertake a journey, what do? You make the best foot forward. The first foot is the best foot. You put that forward and keep marching. Will you be marching backward also? If you march backward, you will fall into this category. Bahushakahi anantasya. Buddhayo avyavasayinam. Number two, don't have the craving that you will do this, you will do that, you will do that. No, just determine what is going to be beneficial to you, and with the nishchayatmika buddhi, okay, vyavasayatmika buddhi, conform to that the requirements of what you have decided to do, and stick by it. Stick by it. Don't just like that give up. Bahushakahi anantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. Not only that, see, the lifespan is limited. Number two, in this 24 hours a day, 8 hours are gone for sleep. And for most of you who are all working people, 8 more hours or maybe even some more hours are gone for work. So what that leaves you what? Just another 8 more hours. And in that 8 more hours, you will have at least some 4 to 6 hours for your daily chores and spending time with your family, having your breakfast, lunch and dinner, etc. That leaves you what? Just about 2 to 3 hours. In the 2 to 3 hours, what do you want to do? You have to determine here and now, and without any cavilling, without any ashraddha, without any doubt. What you decide, you conform to for all times to come. Don't have too many things. Don't have too many things. If you keep in your pocket a lot of things like playing cards, they will simply fly away. What are you gaining? You hold on to one thing and go forward. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. In this case, I'll tell you what. There is one fellow in the Kurukshetra war, the brother-in-law of Bhagavan Krishna, Rukmi. That fellow, he fought Bhagavan Krishna when he was taking away Mata Rukmini. At that time, he said, "You wait, I am going to retrieve my sister. How can you take away, etc., etc." That fellow was defeated by Bhagavan Krishna. Subsequently, he comes to the Pandavas as Arjuna. Hey, don't be afraid. I am on your side. I have come with one Akshohini of army. I will help defeat Duryodhana. Arjuna says, not required. We can fend for ourselves. Then he goes to Duryodhana, and Duryodhana also, after coming to know that Arjuna has said what he has said, he also throws him out. That fellow is what? Rukmi. He does not have any determination. Initially, he should have thought that none of these Kurus will accept him, accept his help. And he ought to have been wise enough that Vyavasayatmika buddhihi, he should have entertained. No. Right. Now, I think we are coming to the end of the day. Any doubts? We will attend to tomorrow first thing in the evening. All right. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om, Nana.
Hari Om Talli.
Hari
Many
Om.
happy returns of the day.